Hello everyone, and welcome to the Mystery Chaos Draft 2015 here at ANC Games. This is round 2 of the tournament. Marc Anderson is taking on Matt Mealing. Marc was last year's champion, and Matt Mealing says that he is the silver bullet to take Marc Anderson down. There's a couple new players to this event this year. One of them tells me that he's your nemesis. His name's Matt Mealing.
We definitely have a rivalry going on both sides. He used to be one of Toronto's, well, I guess still is one of Toronto's top players and had a lot of respect, and he used to run these testing sessions.
In the early 2000s, I was with a play group, we called ourselves the Meatheads, and we were just a bunch of jackasses. And Marc Anderson was actually the first person to get meatheaded. He was playing against one of the meatheads, and while Marc was reaching down to grab his water bottle, we knocked his deck off the table.
Okay. And that set the tone for the entire relationship.
That set the tone. And I think it was 2011 was the last Canadian Nationals.
I ended up beating him in round 9, going on to win the tournament and getting much more prestige than he did, and I think he's a little bit bitter about it.
Because of that, I went downhill from there and didn't top a tournament, and I blame Marc Anderson.
He's definitely out there to beat me, and I'm trying to make sure that doesn't happen.
I can do everything in my power to make sure Marc Anderson does not win this event.
Oh my god. Hello everyone and welcome back to the Mystery Chaos Draft 2015. I'm joined here with EB.
Hey everybody, let's watch some game.
Finally we get to watch some match, huh? You excited?
I am excited. I really want to see what these cards do. I mean, it's one thing to see them in the draft, and you know, for a lot of them, it's been a long time since I've even remembered that cards exist, right?
Right.
And to see how they function in a game is really going to shed light on whether, you know, a lot of those picks made sense.
Now, you had a lot of experience playing Marc, but have you ever dealt with Matt Mealing before?
Yeah, we've played each other, I'm sure, at, you know, some F&M or something like that, but I'm definitely not as experienced at playing him as I would be somebody like Marc or Frank.
He does play a lot of Magic on Twitch, and he's probably more active at playing Magic than Marc or Frank are at this point.
Oh.
Do you think he's got a shot at taking down Marc Anderson?
Sure, why not? I mean, Matt's been playing for a while. A lot of these cards are not brand new to him, right?
He said he's been playing for 20 years now.
There you go, right? That's at least as long as any of us. And longer than the guys he's playing against.
He's also Canadian, as you can tell by his sleeves.
You love those sleeves too, don't you, Milo?
They're my sleeves. I'll just come in. I was like, you're not playing with your own cards. You're playing for potentially cards that were that are going to belong to a viewer or commenter.
That's true.
So
and,
let's make sure these cards are minty fresh when they get there.
Marc goes with his green sleeves. Is that supposed to be some sort of double entendre? You know, green sleeves, like that
greedy.
song? No, there's that song, Green Sleeves.
I've never heard of this.
To play on the recorder. That's all I got about
silence,
it.
Yeah.
I know. Apparently, you have nothing to say about green sleeves, Milo.
So you can see that Matt's got a fog. I think he's just going to run that fog out there, turn 1.
Boom, end of turn fog.
Marc has Seal of Removal.
Seal of Removal, good card.
Which he would pop if there was a target in play, but...
Now, Matt's going to play a card.
Matt is playing with his lands above his cards.
In front, yeah.
So we've got a Harvester Druid, 1/1 for 1 and a green. Tap it to add to your mana, mana pool 1 mana of any color. That a land you control could produce.
Wait, say that again.
Don't make me say that again. So it's Reflecting Pool, but a creature.
Alright.
Marc is played a mountain, and then he just grape shot it.
Shoots it.
And then he could have bounced it with the Seal of Removal in response. Alright, I'll start calling this match for real. Matt draws. He drew a Plains. He played one that was already in his hand. And then we get a Khans of Tarkir card, a card that I love.
Tusk Guard Captain. That's a quality creature.
It is, yep. And Outlast is definitely one of those abilities that's really good in a Chaos Draft if it's really slow. All slivers get +1/+0, so Marc just played a 3/2 for 2 and a red. A card that we saw Chris Ha deliberate over for a long time.
Yeah, and it would have been fine in Chris's deck.
Yeah.
Looks like Marc did pick up maybe some of the slivers. Maybe he's going for that. Or they're just creatures that fit his curve.
I think you would always just play this guy as is.
Yeah.
3/2 for 2 and a red is fine in
perfectly fine.
Chaos draft. We got a Farsi, so Matt was the one that ended up with that Farsi.
It looks like he's playing a lot of the same cards as Frank.
Oh, he's playing Abzan.
Well, he did get the Outlast guy.
Yep. You see how useful that is to have access to just your other color?
Yeah. I mean, Farseek is just a good card in general. That's a cube-worthy and constructed-worthy card.
It could have actually searched for that Watery Grave.
Oh, it could have, yeah.
If Matt was able to get that. So, Mark goes in with the Blade Sliver, offering the trade, because he knows that Outlast guy can become out of control pretty quickly.
He's definitely not going to block, so he might as well get his 3 in.
But Matt also doesn't want to put too many counters on that, because the seal of removal is, right there.
So this actually makes sense for him to just go back and forth, attacking with the Sliver, even though he's only dealing 2 to the 3.
So this creature that Matt just played from Legions, it's a 3/3, and then whenever a beast
becomes blocked, it gets +1/+1.
But then we have Induced Paranoia, and it was counter target spell. If black was
spent, then they mill X, where X is the converted cost. Yeah.
So just as a counterspell for 2 and 2 blue.
Yep.
We've got a Compulsive Research. This is Marc Anderson pulling his old Marc Anderson.
Recognizing that Compulsive Research is an amazing card and that somebody should take it.
Yeah.
Oh, there was more than one. There was one in Ravnica,
there was one in
and
Conspiracy.
There was one in Conspiracy. Yeah.
Let's see if Mark got both of them. He discarded the land, and then he played a Plated Sea Strider.
Plated Sea Strider.
Which is a great card in this format.
1/4 for 2? Can't knock that.
It's not even a defender.
No, it's not. I love cards like that aren't defenders. It just makes sense.
Like, even the Fleece Mane Lion in Journey to Next, the 0/5 1 and a white.
Fleece Mane Ram.
Ram, yes, sorry. It's not a defender, right? So if you put counters on it with a Johnny or whatever.
Or if you can equip it.
Okay, so it's Mark's turn here.
He's thinking.
Matt's going to have to put at least 2 more, or 1 more counter on it to get through that Plated Sea Strider.
Yeah.
Played Think Twice. Main step Think Twice.
Look at this. All this draw. Leave it to Mark to pick up all the draw spells. And that's a very good tactic. The more cards you have, the more likely you are to win.
Oh, Flash Bear. So it's a Grizzly Bear with Flash.
Oh, Flash Coat Bear. Blocks the Sliver.
Which is reasonable.
Die. Yeah. He's okay with it.
I mean, what do you do? Bounce it? Oh, that was a late pick. It's 2/2.
The flanker that phases if you don't pay blue?
No, it's a Berry Target Knight.
Oh.
If you don't pay 1 white. Or 1 blue.
Gotcha.
So, that's actually a really interesting card. If your opponent has a knight in play...
It kills it, yeah.
That's really cool. This is very... I'm impressed.
You have to
they cost 4 mana to keep it on the board. I like this card. I would play it too. Flanking's reasonable.
It's cool. And look at that art. You don't see that stuff anymore in Magic.
Visions, right?
Yeah, Visions.
Have you ever done a Visions draft, like a Mirage Visions?
No, I don't think I ever have.
What's the last set there?
Weatherlight.
I bought a lot of packs of Weatherlight, I remember.
Yeah. For me, it was Visions.
That's when I came back into Magic. Weatherlight had just... One of the many times I came back into Magic.
Same with me. I was playing Star Wars, and I wasn't playing Magic. And then I saw Visions, and this is just like you say, when Weatherlight had already just come out. And I was like, nope, I'm just buying Visions cards.
Good call, probably.
1/5, unblockable as long as it's the only attacker.
Yep.
And there's that grunt.
And it has Super Trample, right?
Yeah.
Which is when it becomes blocked, you can still have it deal as damage to the defending player. And then deals no combat damage to the creature.
Yeah.
That would be a good card with Howl from Beyond.
Oh yeah, Rox was in Nemesis too. Remember Rox?
I do. How could you forget Rox?
I completely forgot him. He was in Cube for a while.
Beat Scissors.
Yeah.
Oh, Mark thinks twice again. And then attacks only with the Dream Prowler, making it unblockable.
Yep. If he has some way of beefing that up, he's
Dream Prowler also good with Howl from Beyond.
Yeah,
surprised
that's right.
that Howl from Beyond wasn't splashed for Mark's deck.
Is he playing black at all?
No, I think he's just playing straight as it.
Red, blue?
Yeah, at the top there we can see blue, red tempo.
Oh, you didn't finish writing it?
So, what has Matt been doing here?
I really don't know. How many cards does he have in his hand? I can't even tell.
He's got a lot of land in play.
Yeah. And he's just...
He's got 3 cards. One of them's a fog. Man, that I feel like your draft didn't go well when you're playing fog.
Fog? Yeah, that's probably true enough. But then again, fog sometimes is that key card where, the person thinks, wow,
lure somebody into an alpha strike.
Yep. And then
you block still. You make him go through all the motions.
Yeah.
And then they maybe use a combat trick.
And you just fog him out. So fog is a pretty decent card. I mean, it's not necessarily the indicator of a bad draft, I would say, but it's just sometimes a card that sits there doing nothing for you.
So Mark bounced Matt's creature and then attacked with everybody. Matt is down to 6, opting not to use fog this turn.
So end of turn, he's doing this...
He pumps Mark's creature so that he can draw an additional card.
Upkeep.
He just cycled Feral Instinct, basically. Oh, Matt finds another land. I'd be willing to bet a force is going to be left untapped this turn. So he plays the Tuskguard Captain and then passes.
He's still got that fog. He's got the temporal isolation. And
Abzan Charm. Or Abzan Ascendancy.
Ascendancy. Okay.
And he's right not to play that Abzan Ascendancy.
It's not going to get him anywhere.
He blocks... it doesn't... It puts 1 counter on your Tuskguard Captain.
You hear these dudes coming in. You can't block the flanker properly. You can't do any of that. So, I suppose this is when he fogs. I mean, when else is he going to do it?
He can block the plated Sea Strider, and then Temporal Isolation the...
Oh, yeah, you can play Temporal Isolation as an instant. I forget about that. Looks like he's just going to take it and go to 3. That's it's a tricky one. I mean, Lightning Bolt.
Yeah. And that's a card that you wouldn't necessarily see, right?
Yeah.
Who's going to attack? Oh no, he's putting counters. So Mark must know something's up here.
I mean, he's still forced to try and win the game.
Of course, why not?
But he should just do exact and not attack with too many things. Unless he thinks that...
He is at 18.
Yeah. I mean, and also he's thinking, oh, he has another flash blocker or something like that, so...
Alright, it's Matt's turn. Matt untaps. And he plays the Defender in Core. So it's a 2/4 fading for 3 and a white. Remove a fade counter from it. Prevent the next 2 damage that would be dealt to target creature or player this turn.
It's not a bad card.
No, it's not. It's pretty good. That looks like it was probably taken pretty highly in that Nemesis pack. I don't
think we saw it. I mean, it's too bad it has fading, which,
Oh, he Glacial Raid Matt to his face.
Yep, there's some burn.
No apologies.
And Matt is going to Abzan Ascendancy.
Counters it. Yeah, counter. So you pay 3.5. He only has 3. He doesn't have the half to pay.
Half mana.
So he responded to the glacial this creature by casting Glacial Ray because this can prevent 2 damage.
Yeah.
And now Matt Temporal Isolations, the unblockable guy.
He's keeping himself in the game.
He is.
Things aren't looking great, but he's still in it.
Yeah, he's not in a position to win the game. He's just in a position to not lose.
Yeah.
I love that the half mana made a difference.
Yeah. Hey, it's better than Melee.
If that's the only thing we get out of Unhinged, I might be still a little bit upset, but at least we got something.
In normal Magic, 3.5 might as well be 4. Right?
Yes.
Like it just...
Yeah, of course.
It's just the same.
Oh, Phantom Tiger. That has trample now.
You love that card.
Now, just because that card has fading counters doesn't mean that it has trample from the test card.
That's right. It has to be +1/+1.
But a card that does have trample is this Flowstone Mauler, which must have been the first pick in the...
Ooh, yeah, for Stronghold.
Oh my god.
It's a strong card.
6 mana for 4/5 trample.
Flowstone.
Oh, that just caused him to scoop.
That's the scoop?
Yeah. Wow. Alright, so Marc Anderson is up a game. That's going to make a lot of people happy. A lot of people voted for Marc Anderson, not as many for Matt Mealing.
Well, Matt's an unknown for most of the viewers, I think, whereas Marc, he's been on a tear, right?
Yep.
He's been winning events left
He won
and
the
right.
last 3 events. I can't even imagine being on a streak like that. And I won back-to-back Cube championships.
That's a subtle way of bringing that into the conversation.
I mean, it said it on my t-shirt, but you never brought it up, so I thought that I might as well just...
Yeah, that's fair.
Say it. Now, are you a fan of the old pile shuffle? Maybe doing it more so than watching it. Do you... When you're playing somebody, do you want to see them pile shuffle in front of you before you start playing?
I don't think about it that much, to be honest.
You don't care?
No.
What if you're playing like a big event?
Yeah.
And you sit down across from somebody and their deck is already shuffled and presented?
Then I'll pick it up and shuffle it. I mean, it's the sort of thing that I would probably have to kind of train myself to consider. Most of the time I play so casually that I just... If somebody doesn't even present their deck for cutting, I don't care. But if it's at an event and that sort of thing is going on, I know that, you know, something's at stake and people have sort of like... There's incentive to cheat. You know, you wouldn't want to necessarily say somebody's a cheater, but
they are.
Yeah, you just take your precautions.
They're definitely cheaters, all of them. And Matt and Mark have got this rivalry too. Like these guys, I don't think they like each other very much. Yeah, they've been each other's nemesis for the last 10 years or so.
Huh. Well, let's see who takes this next game, right? Definitely Mark has an advantage because he's played in these things before, and he's played against these other players as well, right, Matt?
And he's played, at this point, he's played a lot more live Magic on camera.
Yeah.
Even though Matt does, play on Twitch 4 days a week. Mark has definitely played under the spotlights.
Yeah. Well, hey, even consider that last game, Matt played pretty well. He wasn't in a position to win. That's just what
I don't know if his deck is maybe not so good or if
Mark's deck ran very well.
Yeah. And there's so much draw.
Yeah, he drew a lot and he had the key bounce at the right times, and so that was that.
And then it also looks like Matt doesn't have a ton of removal.
Yeah, that's another thing. I mean, that's why black and red are really at a premium a lot of the time in these types of drafts, I think, because you really want that cheap burn or, those common terrors or whatever they are.
Oh, wow. Instead of the swamp, he gets plains. He must have the swamp in his hand.
Probably. Or he's got double white stuff he knows he needs to cast.
Interesting thing to note about Farsi, you can't get forests, right?
No, it's not that you can't get a forest. It's that it has to be a plains, island, swamp, or mountain. So, for example, you can get a taiga because it's a mountain.
Understood. In this limited format, it's probably not getting any forests, though, right?
Probably not, unless it was a shockland from Ravnica.
Yeah. Oh, now there's an in-core creature I like. 2/2 flying, and it redirect 1 damage from Spirit Encore to any creature
you control. Yeah, that type of ability is great because it's just 0. Mm-hmm. And, you can kind of, if you've got something that's like a 2/4 sitting there or whatever it is.
Especially a flyer that you can start redirecting damage. It's not the best creature to throw out there first.
Yeah, that's true.
Because you can't really use its ability.
But, at this point, Matt just wants to roll it out there and make sure that he's attacking sooner rather than later, I think.
Yeah,
I remember there was a combo when this card came. Oh, this is the Artful looter.
The looter. Okay.
So whenever a permanent comes into play that shares an artist with another permanent you control, then
you can untap this.
I don't know how many artists have been working on all these different sets. It's definitely a card that has more synergy in its...
It probably comes up more than you would think, though. I mean, it's just any card, right?
Wow, it looks like we're playing an unhinged draft here. Oh, it's the shoe tree. So far, it's just a 3/3.
That thing's huge.
And it
oh my god! Oh god.
Oh man.
So I think the players are agreeing that he can keep the card on top of the shoes instead.
Instead of on underneath.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's a 5/5?
Yep. Oh, it comes into play with 2 +1/+1 counters, but you have to use your shoes as the counters.
Oh, okay.
That's what it says. So Mark drew a card from Artful Looter and then discarded a mountain.
Hopefully those shoes smell okay. I mean, that definitely gives Matt...
It's whenever a permanent, including lands.
Yeah, including lands.
I wasn't thinking about that. Oh my god, if he just built his lands correctly.
There you go, right? Just play all the same islands, all the same mountains.
Then that card is very, very strong. And he's paying 4. Oh.
Richard Kane Ferguson. Is there another Richard Kane Ferguson out there? No.
Probably not.
Probably not.
Sulkanar the Swamp King? You around?
Well, he swings in. That's
the shoe tree doesn't have Defender either. That's
no,
nuts.
It doesn't. That's I thought it had Defender at first. I was like, oh, it's a wall, but it is not. Jamuran Lion?
And a Jamuran Lion. Target creature cannot block this turn. 3/1. Okay.
Okay.
That's a lion. And then we also have a Spike Worker. Comes into play 2 counters, and you remove a counter from it, put a +1/+1 on another creature. Kind of works in a similar way to this Encore guy. He can start pumping that flyer. That's pretty nice. Now, if you put a counter on the shoe tree, do you have to represent that counter with a shoe?
Maybe. Does it say all counters have to be shoes, basically?
Is this a question you thought you'd be asking today?
No, it is not.
Do you think Unhinged ruined this draft?
No, the cards are playing out okay. I mean, it's just really goofy to have the shoes on the table.
We're going to 3. I think that the problem was Mark couldn't handle the smell.
That could be it. Could be it. Well, he was under so much pressure. If he didn't have an answer, he was just going to lose the next turn anyway.
Wow. So we're going to game 3. That is a lot of pressure. That's a lot of cards in play.
Yeah.
That's if the deck works correctly, right?
It curved out real good.
He didn't really curve out. He started with a 4-drop 2/2 flyer.
Oh, that is true.
Both of them just did nothing. Mark did nothing. He really played the Artful Looter, and that's
about it. It just goes to show you the inconsistency of decks like this. You know, like, you think one deck... We just thought, oh, Mark's deck is amazing because of the last game, and, you know, oh, maybe Matt's isn't that great. But then here we see the complete reverse.
Do you think that, Do you think Mark scooped too early?
No. If he just wants to get straight on to the next game, that makes sense. Mm-hmm. Especially considering what was on the board. If he can see it, you know, even if it took 3 more turns and he would have to show him more of his cards... Yeah, maybe he doesn't want to do that, so...
It looks like Mark is doing a big sideboard.
Yeah, a lot of sideboarding.
It looks like he's cutting a color. That's a pretty big game.
You're switching for artists!
Especially when so much is riding on this.
Color.
I think he's switching a color out, yeah.
Yeah, he's going for planes here.
But you know what, if anybody can do it, it's this guy.
Hey, let's not put too much faith in Mark here, okay? I'm kind of a Matt booster at the moment, because he won most recently, so...
Do you always just pick the person who won last?
Yeah. Who won the previous game.
Now, in the Meet the Players video, Matt says that he's an offbeat drafter and he doesn't go for the normal strategies most people do. Do you think we're seeing that in his deck?
No.
With his shoes on the table?
I mean, yeah, given the shoes on the table is a bit of an odd one, but the rest of the cards are pretty normal. He's just playing good cards, right? And Abzan is pretty popular right now because of Cons of Tarkir block.
And his first pack that he picked was Judgment, and he knew it was Judgment, and one of his favorite decks to play is green-white.
There you go.
That's why he picked it, and then he opened a Sutured Ghoul.
He was like, Phantom Neshoba, Sutured Ghoul. Oh,
yeah, tell me
no.
that. Phantom Neshoba would be such a sweet pull.
Yeah.
Even like a Nerd Brushhopper would be okay.
Even a Nerd Brushhopper. Or even Genesis.
Oh, Genesis, my god.
Yeah.
That's a huge card for this.
It would be great. So these guys are swapping out stuff.
He's taking out the Fog against blue-red tempo. Makes sense, right?
It does. He doesn't need that Fog.
He would need it more against somebody like Chris Ha, I think.
Oh, Matt is the one who ended up with that massacre, by the way.
And that little girl.
And the little girl.
And he isn't going to put in the massacre because he thinks that Mark is playing blue-red, right? Even though he's adding in the planes now.
Oh, that's right. Unless he just looks over and sees a bunch of planes.
Yeah. I wonder if he can see, because I mean we got top view.
Mark is probably keeping them shielded.
Oh, he is putting something in. Wonder if it's that massacre, or maybe the rocket launcher would be good. There's a lot of like fragile creatures in Mark's deck.
Things with one tough.
I mean, I would be main decking a rocket launcher.
Me too.
In any deck in this format, any of these 4 decks, I think I would play rocket launcher.
It's probably, like we said earlier, suffering from just like lack of familiarity, and it just seems like a wonky card. And sometimes you read it and you're like, sack it after you use it, and it costs 4, and it just doesn't seem good, right?
We also see the rare that was open for Conspiracy. It's a Brago.
Oh, Brago, that's a very good card.
Yeah,
but Matt is not playing blue. I bet Mark would have loved that card.
Yeah.
He's putting white in now.
Just a 2/4 flyer for 4 you would play.
Yeah.
Every time.
Is Brago in your cube?
No. Should it be?
It's a cube-worthy card, I would say. But you probably need to remove... what's that guy from Ravnica? Or from Dissension?
Grand Arbiter
Augustin the Fourth. I'd say he's a swap out.
How could you forget that name?
I don't know. Just losing my memory, I guess.
Yeah, Mark really is going into white here. Sorry about the weight, guys. We gotta watch this.
Yeah, jeez. Maybe this is another tactic of Mark's.
Bore his opponents to oblivion.
Yeah.
The other thing is that we're holding all matches until each one is finished, right? I mean, there's only going to be 3 matches max in this tournament. It's single round elimination. What? So Chris and Frank are both watching this eagerly.
Waiting to see what happens.
Yeah. Because whoever wins between Frank and Chris is going to move on to meet whoever wins between Matt and Mark. Who do you think is the favorite in the Chris versus Frank match? We've seen both of their drafts.
We've seen both of their drafts, and I mean, I really like Chris's deck, and I want to say Chris, but Frank always wins.
Go team.
It's so frustrating and annoying.
Team Mr.
But I don't know. You know what? I'm going to go with Chris.
If you had to hang out with one of these guys one night, maybe go to the club.
Go to the club?
Go to the club. Who would it be? Who would be your wingman?
Oh man.
Okay, so
I don't even know. I mean, I'll be honest, Matt and Chris, I don't know.
They're all players.
They're all players, for sure. They're here playing, so I know it, right? I guess I'd go with Matt. Why not? He seems to be a cool guy. Probably
like a pro golfer.
Probably
you should hit him up on Twitch.
Yeah. Be like, oh wait, but you said he's like on Twitch 4 days a week.
Yeah, but not Fridays or Saturdays.
No, he's not.
Get to the club.
All right.
I don't even know what you're doing here right now.
I'll call it Matt then.
Okay.
You can't go to a club with Frank.
Okay, who's it going to be? Who's going to be the first person that moves on right now? If you have to call it right now.
Right now, I'm calling it Matt Mealing.
That's not a...
it's not a popular choice.
Not a popular opinion.
I know.
Yeah.
I don't go with the popular opinion, okay?
Just like Matt.
Just like Matt.
Just like Matt.
He is playing that rocket launcher. You see right there?
That's why I said no to that.
Oh, he's kicking himself with that massacre now.
See how this all plays out.
Oh, he's got a supersize in his hand. Did every card from Unhinged get played?
Unhinged cards are strong. That's the thing about them.
Especially for their time.
Yeah. You read them and you're like, this is goofy. Half mana, and why do I have to put, my hands in my pocket or whatever it is? But then you realize, wait a second, this is just really good. Mm-hmm. Even as goofy as it may be.
Oh, Mark passes the turn. He's got action in his hand, but he's still past the turn.
He's playing the
Matt is going to try to resolve
bears.
Flash Coat Bear. Ash Coat Bear? Ash Coat, Flash Coat.
Don't get confused now.
It's in play. Deal with it.
Boom, 2 damage. See, I told you he'd win.
You know what? This isn't going to be a popular opinion either, but I'm going to say for my money, I think Ash Cloud Bear is better than Grizzly Bears.
Yeah?
My money is my one and my green.
Just tack on an extra ability. Somehow it's better.
You know what? I'll go so far as to say strictly better. That's what I'll say. And now this is a great time to play the Spirit and Core when you got a stupid bear next to you. You can direct all your damage to.
Hey, I thought you were just saying how great that bear was.
Dumb bear.
Look at you.
I'll take grizzly bears any day over it. No, I won't. That's a lie. There was another. There were a lot of grizzly bears. They were all called different things.
Yeah, Balduvian bears.
Yep.
That one probably has the best art of them all.
Yep. And then there was that one from Portal 3 Kingdoms. Do you remember that bear?
Oh, is it the Raise the Roof bear?
Yeah, he's just standing up and he's like... Well, it's adorable. I love it.
That's the bear I would take to the club. Alright, let's do something here, Mark. Stop wasting Matt's
He's considering
time.
tapping some lands.
He's gonna do it. Matt's gonna win this.
I don't think so. I think it's gonna be Marc Anderson with Tempo. But he's not playing Tempo anymore. Oh man, is Ash Coat Bear a knight?
A knight? Some kind of bear knight?
Are there any bear knights?
I don't think so.
You know what? One of my favorite YouTubers is Magic Crad Pro, and he did a deck tech for his EDH deck, and it's called Bears and Crabs, Best Friends. They're all bears and crabs. You should check it out, Magic Crad Pro.
Just like Hedron crabs and Ashcoat bears?
Yeah, all sorts of crabs. Oh, and it's got that turtle too, that 1 in a blue 1/1 turtle. If it's untapped, it gets +0/+3.
Oh, yeah. Is that from Arabian Nights? Giant tortoise?
Giant tortoise, yeah.
And now he's played a spike worker. And he's going to work with his...
I love the spike worker with the 2/2 flyer.
Yeah.
Especially with 2 mana up. Get out of town. That's the applesauce.
Or get into town.
Yeah. Get to the club, really, right?
And that knight has flanking, which doesn't help defensively. Flanking only works when it's attacking, right?
No, it's attacking or blocking creature.
Is it?
I don't know.
Well,
I'm just saying whatever I want. You don't know how these commentary tracks work, do you?
I think it's if it attacks, the blocking creature gets -1/-1.
Now, what set was that from Modern Masters?
Visions.
What? They reprinted it for Visions?
Yeah. Let's check it out. So flanking is... Whenever a creature without flanking is assigned to block this creature,
okay,
the blocking creature gets -1/-1 until end of turn.
And then if it does have flanking, it's -2/-2, right? Or
no.
would that be the Khans of Tarkir version that has additional lines of text
Super
for no
flanking.
reason?
Yeah, exactly. And then you get to choose 2 out of the next 3.
Of the next 5.
Stupid cards.
So it's got 5 lists of 3 that you choose 2 of. Alright, so Mark just passes the turn. Something tells me he's got a couple crads up his sleeve.
Yeah, well, maybe he does, and maybe he didn't.
Alright, so Matt knows the rules for flanking better than we do as he pushes in with Ash Cloud Bear. Uh-oh, Mark's got this.
+1/+0, first strike, and draw card.
That's a spicy meatball. Oh, but we got a supersize.
Ho-ho!
But that's going to mean that Mark gets to draw off that.
Yeah, because he's not countering it or anything.
But that also means the supersize has resolved.
Yes. He's just happy to crush that knight and get his damage in. But
Think twice.
Thinks twice.
And then Holy Strength at instant speed. Right.
And that dies. And
it doesn't have trample though, that's okay. Oh, he takes 3 because that's Spike.
And hey, that rocket launcher is just sitting there in his hand, right?
Oh man, and now we got a lion. Mark is in some trouble. He's got to play either his Rout or his Wrath of the God this turn.
Wait, does he have those?
Imagine if he did. Oh, jeez. Alright, so Akroma's Vengeance now, or what's the one that exiles them?
Terminate puts them at the bottom of their library.
Terminus, isn't it?
Terminus, sorry, that's right, Terminus.
Alright, so we have a 4/2 hexproof with a Holy Strength on it. That'll get the job done.
Wait, 4/2 hexproof, and then so it's like a 5/4?
Yeah, 5/4 hexproof.
That's too bad. That Jamuran Lion could have made it so it couldn't have blocked, but it has hexproof.
It does. It was almost like Mark knew that that was going to be an issue. But we do have a 3/3, maybe even 4/4 flyer coming up.
Hey, all you gotta do is just swing with everything.
4/4 flyer.
Oh, that card doesn't fly.
And a rocket launcher.
And a rocket launcher.
That's a clock.
Yeah.
Rocket launcher equals clock.
I like it.
So Mark is basically at 4, which is the amount of damage that flying creature could deal.
Boom.
Target creature gets +2/+2 and can't attack. Cage Mail, jeez. Do you remember that card?
I do now.
So Matt just has to play another 6 lands. Sorry, more.
Well, I mean, he can still attack with the other
8 lands.
That's that.
Oh yeah, the
fading guy.
That's. And you're preventing damage that would be dealt to a target creature or place. You're not preventing damage that would be dealt by.
Oh, okay.
But it gets countered. And Matt is out of cards in hand.
And that
You
shows
can see
not to swing.
his hands are just crossed in front of him.
Yeah, that's right.
I don't think you would swing. You'd just lose your lion, and you get 2 damage in through the bear.
Yeah.
Maybe if he draws 3 more lands, then that becomes an option. I don't know.
Frank, focus.
Just feels like, I don't know, the game is slipping slightly.
Because I think that maybe if you can now you can draw a creature.
Yeah.
And then attack with 3 creatures, and that makes your rocket launcher active. If you attack now, it might be a long time before you get another opportunity.
It's true. But here's more dudes.
We got Breakthrough. Draw 4 cards and then choose X cards and discard the rest. So he drew 4 cards and kept them all.
Oh, okay. Now he's tapped out. And can Matt do anything? What did he draw?
It's probably a really good card.
He's got nothing.
Too bad he can't attack with that Cage Mail flyer. I mean, not too bad for Marc Anderson.
Too bad for him. But, I mean, that's how you use the card, right?
But it also makes it so that Mark has a really tough time getting through that creature, especially because it can divert mana damage.
Yeah, that's true.
So it could take up to 5 and then start moving the rest over to that bear. Bless me, sorry about that.
You see, here's why I might have attacked with the lion and the bear that earlier turn. Is just like you know, he'd probably block the lion, yes, so that the bear gets through and he's at 5. Then it just feels a lot better than being at 7, especially with that rocket launcher. Getting to 10 mana is very doable, it seems. And who knows if he's...
Because now you think the lion and the Ash Cloud Bear are basically dead cards.
Well, it's just the more cards Mark plays, the worse everything gets now, right?
Well,
now it's just not getting through. That was maybe their opportunity to deal whatever damage they would ever deal this game.
Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah.
Because you gotta wait for... At this point, he has to get 6 more mana to kill him with Rocket Launcher. But if he did your plan, he would only need 2 more.
Yeah.
Which is definitely doable.
And that's sort of my thinking, right? Oh, he's using the rocket launcher?
You had to kill the Artful Looter. So now, even if Mark responds by Seal of Removal, he can just rocket launcher it again.
Yeah. Oh well, maybe this is the best plan, but rocket launcher felt like it was going to be a good finishing blow.
Now things are looking really out of reach for Matt. Like, you know what I mean? Like if...
Well, I mean, keep in mind, he is at 20, Mark is at 7. It's just...
I know, but Mark has like... And Mark can get through with the 1/5.
Yeah.
Although I don't know if they even have 20 cards left in their decks. Probably not. Mark's going to use it.
He's going to try and bounce it, and he says, nope, I'm going to shoot it again.
He's going to kill it. So he trades a rocket launcher for the Artful Looter and a Seal of Removal.
Yeah. That Artful Looter, though, was probably going to go to town. Like, yeah. I see his point about making sure it's gone. It's just... you know, things get further and further back. Mm-hmm. So here's the Rebel chain. What Rebel does he have? 4 drop or less? Oh, he's got that Knight. The Knight of the Holy Nimbus, which happens to be a Rebel for some reason.
Mark has got a flanking deck.
He does. Full of knights.
Yeah. Oh, he drew that Flassify.
What's it called? Flassify?
Isn't that what it's called?
Maybe, I have no idea. What does that do again?
It's a mana leak for 3.5.
Oh,
but it's 2 and a blue.
That's the unhinged counterspell.
Mm-hmm. Do you think they're ever going to bring half mana into main Magic?
No. It's too clunky. No? It's just too weird. But that's why they used it in Unhinged, right? Because it's odd. I mean, if they do another Unhinged set, then yeah, go ahead, do the half mana again, so that there's more cards like that to make it more relevant.
They're definitely going to bring in make artists matter more.
Yeah,
into main Magic, though, right?
You think so? Oh, into main Magic, I don't know about that.
No. All right.
I don't think so.
Way to pop my bubble.
Yeah, sure.
These are things I wanted. Okay.
Then you just wait until you get Unhinged 2. Actually, they called it what? Unglued, Unhinged, so what's the next one?
It's going to be
Unfettered?
Yeah.
Unbowed?
Undecided?
Yeah, Undecided. That's not
Undeclared.
bad.
Yeah.
Unhinged 3. Unimaginative.
Yeah.
This is really boring.
All the cards are in black and white.
Oh, that Stonewood Invoker is pretty good right now.
Woot.
7/7. It's for 7 and a green, though, right?
Yeah.
And he's got 4, 5.
He has 9 in play.
He needs 9, right? Because then, or else he could just block with the Gaia and regenerate.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He needs to be able to pay that.
Pay 2.
Oh, he was looking for a Rebel, but he didn't find one.
He just wanted to be sure. You might as well, right? Like,
of course.
Maybe you just want to give your deck a good shuffle.
A good souffle.
A souffle, if you will. So he's just holding onto that counterspell.
This has been a much longer game than the others so far.
Yeah, it's a grind. It's a grind for sure. One more mana, and Matt could have killed Mark with your play. Because Mark hasn't had a card that was able to deal with an artifact yet.
That's right.
As well.
Or to gain life to put him slightly out of range. So,
although he would have drawn some cards off of that Artful Looter.
Yeah. Because it would have been in play.
And that's it. That's the 5 damage from the rocket launcher.
Yeah.
Would you press in with the Stonewood Invoker?
Mark has 1 card in hand.
You could also make it so that the 2/2 regenerator can't block.
Yeah.
Although I think you would just let it block. Oh, and he's got that prevent up to 3 damage, but 3+1/+1 counters on the creature.
Oh, does he?
Yeah. I forget what it's called, but that's what it is.
Oh, Test of Faith.
Yes. Although if he activates the Stonewood Invoker and then tries to play a spell, that leaves him open to Mark's Classify.
Yeah.
We've got the Plated Sea Strider.
The 1/4.
Dream Prowler plan is in action.
Chipping away. Chip, chip, chip.
Once you put Chainmail in a creature, and it really locks down.
Yeah, that was the key play of the entire match so far.
I know, but it also has made it so that Mark can't attack.
Yeah, it's locked him into sitting here. But
Matt plays a card off camera. Oh, it's an Abzan
Ascendancy.
That seems pretty good.
Get the counters on those guys.
He didn't. Yeah, he missed the counter on the Encore.
If only the Encore had the reverse ability, where you could redirect damage to it.
Yes. If only. I think that Matt is not attacking because he might be waiting for Mark to run out of cards in his deck.
Oh, really? Just to go for the mill plan?
Yeah, how many cards left? Looks like 6 or 7.
Well,
maybe less.
No, it looks like more than that. Looks like 10 cards at least.
Truth be told, we can't really tell from this angle.
No. But this is kind of what you expect from
Chaos Draft.
Chaos Draft is this type of.
Did you have any games that look like this?
Yeah, for sure.
Against Mark?
Against Frank, at least. Yeah.
And Mike is actually not involved in the draft either.
No, that's another regular player who's not here.
Nice guy Mike. What do you think about that? Would you be more excited about playing a draft without Mike in it, or less?
Yeah, I play Mike in Magic all the time, so the less I have to see him, the better.
You play him at all the game days now.
Yeah.
On video. As a game day, do you think he's tougher as a game day competitor or as a Mystery Chaos Draft competitor?
As a game day competitor. This game... Well, I mean, Mark is drawing quite a bit more, right? Like, here he is compulsive researching, so he's putting himself in.
And again, that's the Ravnica one, not the conspiracy
not the conspiracy one. 1, 2, 3.
Oh, he got that Fate's Feathers.
Ooh.
And he got the soldier, the 1-mana, 1/1 provoke soldier that can prevent combat damage.
Yeah, that's right.
So he can force the Encore to block that soldier now.
And get through. Oh, Fetas.
That was a card that could have stopped the rocket launcher.
It is. Even just gaining that life kind of stops the rocket launcher.
It does.
But that I guess would have been my fear, is that the longer the game goes, the more it seems to favor Mark with his slightly trickier things, especially his sort of inevitable damage from something like that, whatever his name is. Oh, that has Hexproof.
Yep. Nope. So Matt tried to play it on the Hexproof guy. It was like, I control this Hexproof guy. You don't control this Hexproof guy. But he definitely needed to play that temporal isolation. Oh, Matt's counting.
2, 3. I think it's 7. Did I see 7 or was that 6?
6. I think it was 6.
Okay.
Which would mean that you were right, I think, when you said there's 10 cards.
Maybe?
That's amazing.
I'm just an amazing person.
You've been keeping track. you Rain Man Mark's deck.
Yeah. It's like just all the matches fell. 42. That's my Dustin Hoffman.
42. He didn't even pick up any cards from his deck. Why would you say 42? It's gotta be 40. 42.
Added a couple extra points.
Everybody knows it's 40. It's the worst Rain Man ever. Yeah, he doesn't have enough time to kill him with Dream Prowler. He's got to find another source of damage. So.
Yeah. Matt's got to find a way to make him draw more cards or something, too.
You got a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah, you need a wider shot.
Well,
there's so much on the board.
Yeah.
It's gross. This reminds me of high school Magic when you play, or like middle school Magic.
Yeah.
When you play in the
where the
hallways.
plan is just to get as much into play as possible, and then you start attacking.
Yeah. And then nobody has the patience to resolve the damage. So
yeah.
just wait until the bell rings. Did you ever know anybody in junior school when you were playing Magic that played with an entire deck in top loaders? Ooh, Covert Operative. That might be the card that swings this game.
And that's 3.
3/2 unblockable for 5. That's pretty sweet.
Go ahead.
Does he have anything to tap it or do anything like that, Matt?
So it's going to be 3 damage a turn instead of 1.
Well, 4.
No, because it's
it's not unblockable if the other thing is attacking. That's true.
We found out that we have a lot more time. We have
1, 2, 3.
Do you think that was the card Mark's been digging for?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Because
he knows Matt's
tapping a lot of mana, though. Looks like a Desert Twister.
Nope,
Briber's Purse. Oh, Briber's Purse is pretty good.
That is.
Wow.
So he's put how many counters on it?
It looks like 7.
Huh. Well, that negates the...
Oh, and he played around Flassify. He's got 4 out.
Oh. Good call. I mean, he probably didn't need to put 7 on it, but...
Oh, and he played it. Wow. Oh, he made him tap it just so he could attack for
so he can attack at least for the turn.
That's a good idea.
It's a good use of the card, which is probably not going to be very good from now on.
Yeah. Do you get frustrated when your opponents play their lands in front of their creatures and permanents?
I wouldn't say I get frustrated. It just seems awkward to me, but I've seen it done.
My rocket launcher back, although I think
Somebody's been playing Magic as long as yourself. Probably saw it a lot back in the day.
Back in the day, the way I learned to play Magic was that your creatures are in front of your lands, and enchantments and artifacts are behind your lands.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's
even worse.
Well,
that seems like the worst.
That seems like the best. That way you know what's creatures and you know what's not creatures.
Mark's attacking with both, and Matt intelligently blocks the 1/5.
Yeah, I think Mark was trying to sneak some damage in there.
Yeah.
Fireball in my hand.
Matt knows what he's doing. Matt's been around the block a few times.
What do you mean by that exactly?
He likes to go for a walk.
You calling him old?
Arcbound
Stinger.
You calling him an old man, yo? Alright, careful consideration.
That's probably not a good card to play.
Instant death.
Oh man, this is coming down to the wire. Can Mark win this game before decking himself?
You know what? Mark's just won so much lately that
Oh God.
I don't know. I'm still calling it Matt.
I can't. I would be very surprised if he's the first one eliminated.
Interesting.
Well, Prepare to be surprised.
If I prepare, then I'm not going to be surprised.
This was almost last pick.
What a stupid thing to say.
Sorry. I say a lot of stupid things.
Oh, man. How do you get out of this jam?
With,
card. Yeah. Why is Matt attacking?
Yeah, you want to claw?
I don't know.
Might as well.
Why not? Let's pick at him.
What is that?
Oh, jump.
Leap?
Yeah, leap, draw card.
Oh, target creature against flying, draw a card. And he's got the target creature gets +1/+0 and draw a card.
He's got that hexproofer. But now he gets an Abzan.
He gets a 1/1 flyer. And we got a Berserk Murlodont. Why not?
Why not, indeed? There's this counter.
Yep.
Upkeep? That can't attack.
So, Briber's Purse.
This is madness.
Mark draws. He only has one card left in his deck. And he's going to draw it.
Okay.
That's it.
Oh.
That's
Block.
that's the game. He's got careful consideration. Mark is out. Oh my god.
Wow. First round knockout.
Jeez.
Way to go, Matt Mealing.